Well, this is the first snow that we've had for this season, 2024-2025, and it's January like 29th. It's Tuesday, wherever that is. Let me look at my phone. I just woke up. It is the 28th, January 28th. And we got a little snow, but as soon as it hit the ground, it melted, but it stuck to the cars. So it got the Land Cruiser, got some snow on it for the first time. So I'm gonna fire this bad boy up. We'll go for a little drive around, see if we can see what the mountains look like, you know, like off in the distances, and then maybe even go up to my local ones and see if a little bit more fell. Yeah, it's first actual snow. Now I say the first snow of the season. It's the first snow at my house. Now there's been like a little bit of snow further up north by Flagstaff, but nothing really, like, not like it was a year or two ago. I showed you the pictures. I can show you pictures of what it looked like just this time last year and the year before. It's beautiful, but it's way too deep. You can look and see how high the drift is. It's almost level with the top of the truck. Well, I made it to Thursday up into the mountains, and there is still some snow. Not too much, but the coverage is actually pretty good. You know, there's a few patchy areas where the sun is Well, I mean, the sun's really bright right here too, but there's a couple places kind of on the trail coming back in here that the dirt is showing through, but it's a pretty good amount. It's only about half an hour from my house right here. All the snow at the house has melted. I just had a little bit left on like the windshields because they're parked this way facing the house and not the sun. So when I got the 80 out, I put them in the street so the windshields were facing the sun. I just made it up here, and it's, I don't know, you can see the sun in the background. So I recorded those other clips, I think it was Monday night. I don't know, I'll have the dates in there for you, but it coming down, and I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be the first snow that I can go drive in, you know, actual inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, whatever. And then Tuesday, it might have been Tuesday, but yesterday, Wednesday, I was concerned that it would be a day like this, and it would just, like after today, this snow, most of this will probably be gone. But it was overcast all day yesterday, kind of preserving the little bit that we got. And I was like, kept looking outside, and I was like, okay, it's overcast, should be good. It stayed pretty chilly throughout the day. And then this morning I got up and I saw clear skies. It's like, you better get up there now if you want to do any driving in this stuff, because this sun it's awesome. Actually, it was a little more chilly by my house, a little breezy down in the valley there, where here, oh my God, it's, as of right now, it's very still. Doesn't mean it's going to remain that way, but I'm looking around. I don't see a cloud in the sky, not even a little, nothing. So the sun is back. And this is like, I like to quote the perfect times, but this is one of those times where everything kind of comes into balance. Snow on the ground, sun in the sky, no clouds, no wind. I don't know. It was like 19 when I got up this morning, 19 degrees F. And I'd say right now it's probably 35. Hard to tell just because I'm excited. I'm like a kid getting a bike for Christmas, you know? I don't know what it is about the snow. You know, when I was younger, it was like mud. And now I despise mud because I actually have to clean it. Now I'm responsible for not putting mud on my driveway or on the streets, neighborhood. When I was younger, I like, screw that, wow, you know, just go splash. It's like a badge of honor to have your car or your truck just covered in mud. Now I'm like, oh, I dread that. I don't know what it is. But snow is the exact opposite. You get the same effects and the feel of mud, right? Sliding around and doing all your stuff, but it just falls off afterward, as long as it's not like 2 degrees and it's frozen to your car forever. So this side here is facing south this way. So you can see, I don't know if you can see back there, but it's pretty patchy back there. But the hills back here facing north, they still got all the snow on it. So I brought up some beef stew to eat today. I figured that would be a nice hearty, you know, one of those I gotta take a nap afterward meals in a day like this.
some big goofy mule deer back there just crossed they crossed just before I got there, but I caught them running up the hill. Or they just stop and stand. His big big old donkey ears on, looking right at me. Like, who's the dumb one? That's another thing I love about the snow is you get to see all the tracks, right? And what it does is it kind of reminds you of just how much wildlife activity is around. You might come in here, do some off-road and park up, do some cooking, eat, relax, camp, and leave and never see or hear anything. But in the snow, you can see, holy cow, the amount of things around. You know, the majority, I would say, of the prints that I see are rabbit, squirrel, coyote, a couple types of deer. We have wild turkey, and I mean, we have black bear, but I haven't seen any black bear stuff. And I don't know if they actually, hibernate here, if that's a thing everywhere. I mean, it gets cold here, but days like today when the sun's out, I don't know. I don't know if they hibernate or not, but I wouldn't say there's a boatload of them. But then we have mountain lion, we have bobcat, cougars, things like that. I haven't seen any of those tracks, but snow's pretty good here. It's I would say a couple inches, like 3 to 4 inches maybe. But there's tracks that go this way, so I'm in somebody's tracks from, it's possible it was earlier today. I would say most likely yesterday. You can kind of see how it's faded a little bit. And if you've never been out in the forest a lot, where I just keep the tracks keep getting me looking at them. If you've never been out in the forest a lot, like normally when you can hear everything everywhere, you wouldn't know this, but you come out when it's wintertime and the snow has that silencer effect, that natural muffle effect, to where the only thing you can hear is my tires kind of crunching through the snow. This truck isn't that loud, so it's not like exhaust or engine. I did notice something coming up here too. There's the other two cars that I moved 2 cars to get this out and get them out in the sun, and they're both V8s, and they have a certain resonant frequency to it. You can kind of feel in your butt. You can feel it on the steering wheel. It's not vibration. It's a frequency of that engine. So I'm driving up here and I stop at the turn, like right by Costco, to get up here. And I had to look down. I'm like, God, is my car even running? This straight 6 is so smooth. There's almost none of that weird frequency coming up through your backside or through your steering wheel. I had to look down to see if it was still idling. It's very smooth. Now I'm not saying that all straight 6s are like that, but it makes me a little bit curious to do some research on that, about how the natural vibration and frequency that occurs between like a 4-cylinder, a V8, a V6, or a straight 6. You gotta imagine how these pistons are going in either all the same way or opposite ways. I don't know, just something to think about. It's kind of cool as I came up to that stoplight. Dong. And that's how long it takes to set up my awning one-handed. One-handed awning setup. Actually, just I pulled off to just on the side of the track. Down here, right down here, not much farther, is the drop off of that big clay rutted hill. It is south facing, so it's probably not a lot of snow on it, but if it's wet, it's, let's just say I'm not gonna go down it today, but I did find the other tracks that were in here, they stopped back up that way a little bit. It looks like they got a little bit concerned, either how far they were going in or how deep the snow was getting. It's amazing to see the pattern in the snow of my tires. I like it. People that wonder if all-terrains are good for snow, well, that should tell you right there. Those are the open country ones, and you can see that tread works really good in the snow. I think you know, I'm about 5 miles from like my kind of quasi normal little place that I set up and cook. I just think I'm gonna do it right here. Truck's like a little sideways, and it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get set up. I had to move. My other spot was right there on the other side, but it was not only side to side, but it was leaning back where this drawer, or leaning forward. This drawer was, with all its weight, was trying to slam forward, and I need to cook on it. So I got a big old bucket of Denny Moore beef stew, and I'm gonna try some more of that. I've only had it that one time, that instant espresso, but this time just one thingy. Last time I put 2 in, it was a little bit strong. So one of those with just less water. Got water in here. Here's that little the little wind blocker I got that I thought it was like 6 inches tall. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's for like some kind of Lego set or something. What am I gonna use to heat this up? I can use jet boil, or you know what? If I use jet boil, I can use the jet boil pot to eat it out of instead of another. Let's try that. Let's try, you know, I'm all set up. I've got my little stove in here and my propane, you know, that clamshell one. I'm trying to think, because this is why I love the Mini Mo version. It's shorter and fat, so to eat out of it is way better than those tall, skinny jet boils. Again, I don't know why you'd want any other version of the jet boil, but that's just me. That's just me. Okay, so we got this. Let's put our table on. I think we're ready for our table. Hey, oh, dang, that's a tight fit. First, I thought maybe my wood had expanded or something. All right. So doing it this route, I can actually heat the water first, then go into beef stew mode. Who doesn't like beef stew mode? Right? It was weird. My my jet boil went out. It went out. I don't know if it blew itself out. I think it was the gas. It's just cold. So the breeze is kicked up. The breeze is kicked up now. I'm actually exposed. I'm exposed on the top of a ridge. I've got the big valley there, and you can kind of see behind me. It drops down, and then they got that mountain there. So the wind comes whipping up and across. I'm like in a saddle, like a horse. Broop, broop, broop. Anyway. So the breeze is kicked up a little bit. So as you can see, I have my Christmas tree jacket on, or whatever, sweater, fleece thingy. The old Christmas tree, he says. All right, so we've got ourselves some instant espresso from 365 Whole Foods Market. I tried it once before, and I put in 2 of those for kind of one of these cup size. It was too strong. Not too strong. I don't know. It wasn't great. So 1, and I used less water. We'll let this balance out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and try this since I'm set up with it. We'll get rid of this little bit of remaining stuff here. And we're going to try and put the gigantic Dinty Moore beef stew in here. Again, I still have not got a definitive answer on cooking in the can. Putting this on a fire, putting a heat source here, cooking it in the can. It's mixed. It's a mixed bag. You know, some of it could be like old school lore or true. Man, sorry, I got to put my glass. It's so bright behind the camera. Woo. Like old days, you know, things used to be made out of, well, just think about it. You know, there was asbestos. There was some stuff that was not healthy for humans being used all over the place. And, you know, lead paint. So when they talk about, I forget what it is, tin, I don't know what these are. These are not aluminum, some kind of hybrid of some kind of mixture. And, you know, whether stuff can leach from the metals into your food. Because I don't know, I am not willing to take the risk, even though I did do some Bush's baked beans on it. See if this thing, oh, it's really cold. Wow, I had to open the valve way up to get this to flow. I'm going to use this guy just to cover the wind from blowing on the can. It's such a little guy. So when cooking in this, you got to stay after it, stirring it, because, you know, again, very thin kind of titanium pot. And right now it's not frozen, but it's like clumpy, you know, it's not flowing. The gravy isn't flowing to heat through into the other stuff. So stay after it, keep the heat kind of on medium. Whew. So this little thingy, it's so light that the wind blows it into, it's supposed to be a wind block, but it's, like I said, it's made out of titanium. This one's aluminum. The wind just blows it, and it's not even that strong of a wind. Ugh. There's a little gust right there. Some of it's hot. Oh, I don't know why. Beef stew is a guilty pleasure. Maybe once a year I have a bucket of it like this. The gravy it must be so full of sodium. It's so good. I think I'm going to sit on this side of the truck in the sun and away from that wind. Ooh, it doesn't take much wind to just take the energy out of you. Woo, that's good. So it is kind of difficult to cook in here because the isobutane doesn't like, there is a different blend. I think the one I'm using, I usually use the Jetboil brand, and it's got something else in it for higher, colder conditions. But the one I have here is an old MSR one from way back when. I'm just trying to go through those small cans and just keep kind of the bigger cans. It's not like I'm backpacking with this stuff. That other one was from way back when we used to go hike and cook at the end of a hike and walk back. Not anymore. I'm too old and fat for that. Oh, it's really good. I don't know how much of that footage came through. So when it's really bright behind me and I'm in the shadow of my little hatch there, the camera is on the struggle bus. So if there's not much footage of me cooking or anything, it's because of that. Not cooking, heating. I was contemplating chili. I have been collecting chilies again after that last one where he talked about doing kind of a chili cook-off. I got like 4 or 5 different ones from Stag. We got a couple Hormels. We got the Wendy's. I think I ate the Wiener Schnitzel one. I don't have a Wiener Schnitzel one. But I might have close to 10. I don't have any of those like off-brand ones I was talking about. I don't even remember what they were. Wolf something. I don't remember. I almost walked out without my pistola, coming out here. So strategically, allegedly placed anywhere in the house by by my keys. I have my little P365 here that's always ready to go. It's kind of my summertime thing, with shorts. But it had 12 round mag in that little guy. Pretty good for its size. In case some deer wants to come up and try and take my beef stew. What a difference just standing here. Sun, no wind that's blowing across the back of the truck. Really nice. So another thing, I was talking about the sound, the quiet, how everything is. Then when the breeze picks up, all you hear is it like kind of going through the trees, and then the clumps of snow that have gathered maybe on a branch of pine needles, and it falls. Boom! It sounds like in the distance someone closed a car door. A good car door, not those tinny sounding ones, but one of those thud. It sounds like someone closed their hatchback. You're like, what was that? Is there someone over there? It's the snow falling. And because it's so quiet, it can be pretty far away and you're like, what was that? Is that a bear coming to get my beef stew? So bad for you, but so good. And it, like holding it like this, I think the bottom's probably cool by now, but for my hand, it's got a nice big handle, or you got this, whatever this stuff is, wetsuit material. It's a nice, you can see how big this is and how short. You don't need to get it all over your hand trying to get down in there for those other jet boils. But I swear to you guys that this version of it is not popular at all. I've never actually seen anybody else using it. They all have the big ones. I don't know why. That was a warm piece right there. We get some. So the espresso, it turned out, that's a giant boulder. The espresso turned out really good. So about 3/4 of a bottle of water. So whatever 3/4 of 16.6 fluid ounces is, and 1 packet. Ooh, it's perfect. But remember, I don't add anything to my coffee. No sugar. I don't know what people add. Sugar, cream, ice cubes, butter. People add some weird stuff to their coffee. Nothing for me. So my coffee has to be good. It can't be like bitter. It can't have an aftertaste. It has to be just good black. And that's a judge of, I think that's a judge of good coffee, right? Because I'll have, like, someone will give me some coffee and I'll taste, like, oh God. And then I will see what they're doing. They're like dumping cream in there and pralines and cream, ice cream and sugar and whatever. I don't know what people put in there. I hate that whole can. I ate that whole dang can. I guarantee you if I had that all the time, I would get absolutely sick of it. But once a year, like one, you only have so many times that you go out, like in the wintertime, that you want to try some chili, some beef stew, you want to try some steak. There's a lot of different things. So it's not like once a year, really, is not too bad, and it tastes really good, but I can tell it's really bad. It's full of sodium and all that, but do you really think about that out here? And how bad is it really if it's one time a year you eat something like that? They do a good job, though. I mean, there's huge chunks of potatoes and huge chunks of some sort of meat in there. And it's really good. Oh, man. I was standing, walking around here, and I've packed the snow down, and it's turned into, an ice rink. I almost fell on my face. If that tree was a little bit closer, I probably would have hit it. Because I have this magnetic attraction to trees. It's like a gravitational pull. My mind never stops going a million miles an hour. Like right now, I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff. But when I drove up here and I got in pretty far and I kind of stopped up on a hill and changing cameras around or something, it reminded me of why I end up with so much footage in my wintertime videos in comparison to my fall, summer, and spring, summer, and fall videos. Because I spend so much time out here in the winter. Just like this. I'll spend, well, the only downfall of winter is the daylight cycle, People in Alaska and, northern Canada are like, yeah, keep talking, buddy. But in the summertime, I think this is the same for a lot of people, but here in the summertime, I'd say by like 5:30 in the morning, the sun's up. It's judging from looking out the window when I stay up all night playing video games. And to be honest with you, I probably do that at least twice a week. And not on purpose. Sometimes I get like, not insomnia, I'm sure there's a word for it, lethargic. Because I sat around all day doing nothing, I've got no 10,000 steps, heart rate up. The only thing I do is go up and down the stairs to get to my office. And the only reason I do that is to go to the refrigerator downstairs. But after doing that all day, and then I'll wind down watching like a movie or a couple of movies on Amazon, and then it'll be like 12, 1 o'clock. I'll go in and I'll lay down. I'll try and go to sleep. And I'm tired. I'm exhausted, but my body's like, dude, you didn't do anything today, but you need that sleep, right? So I get back up, I go back upstairs, and I think maybe about 5 o'clock in the morning, or 5:30 in the summer, I'll look out my little windows off that face the south, or they kind of face southeast, and I'll see the sun coming up. And then like 8 o'clock at night, the sun is, it's still light. Let's just say it's still light outside. So you get all that time, like from basically 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. of light, let alone whatever you want to do, at nighttime. Well, that's awesome. But in the winter, it's like, geez, it's like 7:30 a.m. And then 6, you can't get 7 to 7. You can't get 7 to 7. And that sucks because it plays on your mind. It's like a mindset. You're like, you're like, oh, it's dark outside. It must be late. And you look, it's like 7:30. But you're not really motivated to go do anything. But this ties in, with the whole sleeping thing, looking out the time, how long it's light. But yeah, at least twice a week I'm like that, to where I just can't sleep. But about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, I know this sounds crazy, I should go back downstairs and climb into bed. I don't. I'll lay on the floor in my office, and I've got a pillow and a blanket. In the next room, in my dog's room, he's got a big, one of those Purple brand beds, but I have one of the Hest mattresses it goes in here. It's my camping mattress. I have it sitting in the other room. I just grab it because it's, it's like some sort of foam, bring it in there, lay it down. I got 2 pillows, I got a couple blankets, and I'll just lay on the floor and boom, I fall asleep. So I fall asleep with like some TV show or movie playing on Amazon. I'm not really one of those guys that falls asleep to total silence. I can, but I'm not used to it. I'm so used to falling asleep with a TV on or something now. I think because she likes having the TV on. I think she does. I don't know. It's just always on. I don't think they've turned off that TV in 6 years. And the only reason it's been 6 years because that's the last time we moved. I could literally sit here and talk all day. Here's my view that I'm looking at. What a great day. My other camera battery ran out, so I'm stuck with this one. So if you hear some audio differences, wow, super fun, man. I hope more snow still is to come this year. I mean, it's the end, just the end of January. What is it, the 30th? It's the 30th right now. But going through those trails, I think I'm gonna post a section back there, just let the camera run and show you a little like track that I went on, and just let it run, let you see what it's like, you know, just getting after it a little bit. The track, normally you have to go pretty slow. There's some big like potholes from the monsoons and all that settling and washouts, and some pretty big sharp rocks on that particular one. But the snow's like putty. It fills it all in. But I know that track. I've been on it enough times so I know where no matter what, you better slow down here because you're about to rip your front axle off. Look at this. That's how you get in and out of here, right on the edge of a, I don't know, it's not that far down, but it's enough to take your vehicle out, maybe you. So you just gotta be careful here with the snow, and if it's icy. I have had some difficulties here when the snow turns that really bad, whatever it is, icy white stuff, and slid towards that edge. That's when it's good to have some horsepower and some really good tires to just, when in doubt, floor it. Man, I had so much fun today. The anticipation leading up to today was pretty great. You know, a high level, hoping that the snow would remain, and enough of it did to give me the fix that I needed. All I really need is a couple months worth of this. You know, I'm not asking for too much there, nature. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty dang fun. It's my favorite part. I mean, I love all forms of off-roading, but this form here, whew, I love it. So what is it? It's about 1:40 right now. So I've been out here about 5 hours, driving, cooking. Oh, by the way, the coffee, the espresso, with that amount, like 3/4 of a water bottle, say 16, 14, maybe 13 ounces or so, and one packet, it was really good. Like really good. No aftertaste, no bitterness. It was good. I am so happy that I got that. I got the other coffees. I've got the Black Rifle coffee ones, and I've got the emergency ones, the Nescafe, or one of those Taster's Choice, Taster's Nasty. So that's good. That's good to have that. I'm seeing some water, like some little rivers forming on this downhill here. Oh, the other thing about that one scene, that part, I think I let it run. It's the camera's mounted right here, so if it's bouncing around, it's mounted on this headrest. So the camera sits right back here. What that does is it gives you the full effect of elevation changes, like, because when it's on the windshield, you can't tell that I'm going up a hill. And I've gone up some big hills, and I look at it on camera going, what? It looks flat. So it being back here, you can actually see how steep it is. It's just a little, it's just a little bit, because the seat shakes, right? The seat shakes. That's okay. I think it's worth the, all of that off-roading today was done center locked 4 low. I put it in 4 low just because you don't overwork your tranny. You know, 4 high, you could probably cruise around, but if you're gonna get after it, just put it in 4 low. You know, probably about 3,000 RPMs was about the average that I was cruising through there at that speed. You can, you know, go a lot slower, but that works out pretty good. And no locker usage. I didn't put any lockers in. Why? Because I haven't made the final connection. It's right down, it's down there in the passenger footwell. I've got 5 wires I need to connect. So power, ground, locker, front locker, rear locker, and dash. It'll bring on the dash lights saying front and rear locker, all down there to the factory connection. Everything's done under the hood. Everything's done from the hood, from there all the way to the lockers. Lazy. I work on this in the garage, and to work down there, I need it out in the driveway with the door open, because my big ass, I almost said big ass, my big butt can't get in there to, you know, anyway, it's hard for me to fit in there without being out in the wide open. But that's going to do it for me today. Wow, it was so much fun. I hope I was able to share some of what makes it so exciting for me with you guys, with the cameras, trying to do some different little angles and stuff. And Denny Moore beef stew once a year, pretty dang good. I'll probably pay for it tonight or tomorrow morning, but it's well worth it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.